Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at a different Intel NUC. This is the Intel NUC i7-KYK. So we're going to be doing an unboxing of that, and we're going to be adding a NVMe Samsung drive and 16 gigs of DDR4 memory. So I'm just going to show you the typical Intel NUC is just kind of like your typical square, nothing fancy about it. Now, if you do a little bit more intense gaming, or you need something that needs a little bit more intense graphics, they are recommending the KYK series. So let's go ahead and unbox this, and I'm going to show you the difference between these here. And like I said, here's an older version of the Intel NUC, and these are just your typical square ones. These ones are like the 5th and 6th generation, so these are a little bit older. The one that I just showed you is a 10th generation Intel NUC. So let's go ahead and unbox this. You can see quite a difference as far as size. So you have your instructions. It looks like they gave you a second plate, and this is because if you're in a business environment, you don't really want to have this top cover because it's got like a skull head on it. So I guess that's for like hardcore gamers, I guess. It looks cooler. I'm not sure. But they give you the standard plate here, which I'll show you. So it's just your typical matte black cover, and that's just to replace the one if you don't like the little skull look. So there it is. Just going to do that off. So like I said, that's just to replace. So if you didn't like this skull symbol, you could just simply unscrew these 6 screws, and then bam, you got your just flat black cover on there. So on the front of here, you can see you have an SD slot, and you have 2 USB 3.0s, and then you got a headphone jack, and then an IR port, and then on the back, you have your power, you have another audio jack, 1 gigabit Ethernet interface, 2 USB 3.0s, Thunderbolt, and then USB-C, of course, and then HDMI. So as you can just see, compare in size, it's quite a bit longer, but not as high. So we're going to see how this performs playing CSGO to see if it can even keep up. Because I'm not sure. Yeah, because as you can see, it just has an Intel Iris Pro graphics. So I'm interested to see how well this can handle your standard multiplayer game. So let's go ahead and add the memory and the hard drive to it. So we're just going to flip it upside down. You got 4 screws on each side. So you just pry the bottom up. It looks like we don't have our last screw here fully off. There we go. Alright, you got the bottom cover off, and you can see you have 2, not just 1, but 2 M.2 slots. So you can actually potentially add 2 of them here. And then we have our memory slots here, so let's go ahead and get our memory out. So we got the memory out. Make sure you have your notch lined up. Push it in and then push down till you hear it snap into place. Same thing with the other one. Line up the notch. Push it in and down. So now we're going to add our M.2 drive here. So we just slide that in, and then add our screw, and then we screw it into place. So that's it, you guys. Just add in the memory, add our M.2 NVMe drive. Now we can go ahead and close this up, and we can go ahead and do a fresh install of Windows 10. Alright, now that we have all the screws in, you're going to go ahead and flip it over, and let's get our power cord out. And when I first looked at this, I'm like, wait a minute, where's the other end? But if they kind of hide it underneath the box here, so that's where it's hidden at. just so you guys don't freak out if you get one yourself. That's where they hide it. So it's going to plug this in. I got a monitor here waiting for us with an HDMI. We're going to put our HDMI, and then we have a Windows 10 thumb drive here that we're going to pop this in and start Windows 10 installation. Alright, you guys, we have our power supply plugged in. We have our HDMI cable. We have our Windows 10 thumb drive. If you don't know how to install Windows 10 on a thumb drive for installation, look in the description of this video. I have another video on how to do that. USB for our keyboard and mouse combo that we have over there. So let's go and power this on, and hopefully we'll get something on the screen here. Perfect. So I should find the Windows 10 installation since there's no data at all, since they're brand new M.2 drive in there. So it should start yep, and there's the Windows 10 loading and installation's coming up. So let's go ahead and hit next and then install now. Sorry for the reflection, I didn't realize my lights there would be doing that. Hit I don't have a product key for now. We'll enter one later. Go to Windows 10 Pro, hit next, and then I agree to the sign your life away. Hit custom installation. There's our 500 gig NVMe drive. Hit next, and it's going to start the installation. Now this should go pretty quick because we are using a Windows 3.0 thumb drive, so it's got fast read and write speed to the computer, and the fact that we have an NVMe drive, that should go pretty quick as well. And you can see we're already at 10% of it's getting the files ready, and it's already at 15%. So yeah, it's going pretty quick, and it's already at 20% now as I'm talking. So this will install pretty damn quick. I'll go ahead and pause this, you guys, and I'll come back once we reboot. And once it reboots, we're going to want to go ahead and remove that thumb drive out of there so it doesn't try to start the installation again. Sometimes I see that it'll try to boot to that thumb drive again, sometimes it won't. Our computer has finally rebooted, so we just need to select our region, hit next, and then we just need to go through these steps here, skip. Alright, so we're at the creating a new user. I'm not going to do a password right now because we're just going to be doing a testing account. I'm going to go ahead and just turn all of this off. And then not now. And then I'm going to go ahead and pause it right here, you guys. I'm going to wait for this to load up. And then I'm going to install the Steam client because I want to download CSGO. And let's do some test gameplay to see how well this will perform on this little Intel NUC here. So I'm installing the Steam client, and as I was installing this, you know, we should really make sure we have the latest video card drivers for this Intel NUC. So what we want to go to is Intel NUC drivers, and we should be able to find I like Intel's website because they have a wizard. So go to drivers and software, and then we want to automatically update our drivers. So let's download Intel's tool to do that, and that's going to basically scan your particular Intel NUC. It doesn't have to be this one, and it's going to see what drivers are missing, or maybe there's a BIOS update or a network driver update or something like that. So we're going to go ahead and install this and do that scan here for us. And it looks like Steam is installed. I'm going to go ahead and log into it with my Steam account and get the CSGO to start downloading while we have Intel scan our system and see if there's any new drivers or maybe drivers we're missing, which since we just installed Windows, I'm assuming there's going to be some drivers that are not installed. And you can see HD graphics driver for Windows 10, our networking driver, and there's a lot of other drivers. So we're going to go ahead and install them all. So go ahead and do this as well. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to wait for this because this could take some time. So it's going to download all these drivers, install them all one by one, and it's probably going to have to reboot a couple times. And then I'll come back when that's done. And then, like I said, I installed Steam. We're going to install and download CSGO, and I'm going to wait for that to get done as well. And then we'll be back. Alright, you guys, we're back after finally getting CSGO fully installed. You can see our drivers and everything are up to date. So let's go ahead and launch CSGO and see how it does. Now we did already open up CSGO and we set all of our video settings to very low because unfortunately everything was set for auto and it was auto high, and when we got into the game it was so very laggy. I cannot recommend this machine at all for any kind of intense gaming. Maybe if you do something very low end like maybe Minecraft, but for CSGO I don't really see it playing that well. So let's go ahead and get in some gameplay here, and you guys can maybe leave a comment below and maybe tell me your opinion. But when I have my graphics set for high or even for medium, it completely lags, and my FPS just is so low. So let's go ahead and join in a server here so we can see some gameplay. So let's go ahead and enable our FPS so you can see what kind of FPS we're getting. So the FPS is not so bad with me being the only player in here, but let's go ahead and join a map that's got maybe some other players in it here. So on very low settings, I find that it runs a lot better. But you definitely don't want to be doing anything else, multitasking or doing anything else, but it runs okay on everything low settings. Like I said, anything medium or high, it's just going to be laggy as hell. So any low-end gaming, I would definitely recommend this Intel NUC 4. But if you're going to be doing any kind of high-intense gaming, and you want a lot of graphics, everything on high, I would definitely not recommend this Intel NUC because it's just not that powerful enough. It just doesn't have a beefy CPU in it. I'm sorry, a beefy GPU in it. So there you guys have it. We just built the Intel NUC Gaming Edition with the NVMe drive, the 16 gigs of memory. We installed CSGO. It runs on everything low, so that's what I would recommend. Anything low-end gaming, you can do something on this, but to be honest, you couldn't do this on any other Intel NUC. Even on the low settings, it would be, you could hear the fan spinning on this one. It would be even worse on the lower end Intel NUCs. So there you guys have it. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video.